Songs and Sit-Downs, featuring Owen Dara. And now, Owen Dara.
Good evening, and welcome to Songs and Sit-Downs. This is our 7th edition in the series, 7 already, on this beautiful June evening. It's June 15th, and it is in fact, well, it's my birthday. There is no hiding that with Facebook and everything else that's going on, and I know it's going to come out a little bit later on. Dolly warned me. She didn't tell me what's going on, so I am a little bit nervous, to be honest. Not only is it my birthday, but it's also Jessica's birthday. We're in a relationship and we have the same birthday, which I gotta tell you is fantastic. Because before I met Jessica, I never used to get excited about my birthday. You know, I was always afraid to have parties in case nobody would show up. But now that there are two of us, there's actually twice as much chance of somebody actually showing up. So I feel much more comfortable with it. And then, of course, if nobody comes to our party, we can celebrate together. So it's really a great advantage to have a party who has the same birthday as you. My advice is, if you're currently not in a relationship, then, you know, let's say you're doing the online dating thing, then I strongly recommend that you choose to only go on dates with people who have exactly the same birthday as you. And, you know, if you're currently in a relationship right now with someone who doesn't share your birthday, then I recommend breaking up with that person, finding someone who has the same birthday as you, and then your partner is also then free to go out and get someone who has their same birthday so they can enjoy their big day even more. It ensures that at least for one day a year, everyone gets to be happy. I mean, the rest of the days might be an absolute disaster and torture and hell, but that one day is going to be magical. So speaking of magical relationships, we're very happy that you guys have tuned in. Thank you for being with us. We're going to cut now to our fearless leaders over there at Divine Rebel Music headquarters over there in Van Nuys, Dolly and JJ.
Hey.
Well, hi.
Hi.
Happy birthday.
Well, thank you so much. I know it's all over Facebook. Usually I try to hide it, but it's all over Facebook. People are, you know, and
you cannot.
I cannot, because as you get older, you know, you tend to be like, no, because the worst thing about it is you are, in fact, a year older when it happens.
Yeah. Well, Owen.
Yes, darling.
We have a surprise for you.
See, you told me you were going to do something, and I've been scared. And if it's happening right now, please just get it over with. Huh?
Why would you be scared?
Guy, because I know you. You're my friend.
Well, we have something for you. Are you ready?
Oh boy.
It's actually for you and Jessica. So where's Jessica?
I'm here. She's right here.
Hi. Okay.
She's excited. I'm scared.
I love surprises. Right. Thank you.
Okay, ready?
Yes. Aww. Oh
my God.
Aww.
I wish you bright mornings and warm
soft shade to cool you.
Raindrops of dew from some cloud floating by.
Rainbows thereafter to color your sky.
Rambling rivers and great shining seas.
Mountains and forests with towering trees.
Nature that nurtures whomever's attuned.
Oh my God.
An old companion who will stay beside you.
Children to care for, to love, and to guide.
Enough work to do with enough time to play.
Enough sleep at the close of the day. Friends when you need them and when they need you.
Something to spend just as much as we'll do.
And heart full of laughter, perhaps a few tears.
Faith you can follow through all of your years.
Then, fearlessly, facing your last setting sun.
Oh my God.
As you contemplate all the deeds you have done.
Recalling a life that's been more than worthwhile.
And perhaps you will pause and give thanks with a smile.
Aww.
Birthday, Owen and Jessica.
Yay! That's amazing.
It's when was the ukulele?
Happy birthday to you. Happy Happy birthday to you.
Scared.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Owen and Jessica.
Happy birthday to
Oh my god, that made my day.
That is unbelievable. Oh my God.
Oh my god, that is the best birthday gift ever. And I'm
Thank you guys.
scared.
Thank you guys. Oh my God.
That's amazing, you guys. Thank you.
Thank you. That was.
Oh my god. Amazing.
I was scared and now I'm excited. I'm crying with laughter. That was just beautiful.
Yay.
And
That's awesome. Thank you guys.
and all the musicians who took part, friends, thank you so much. And thank you, Dolly and JJ, for organizing that. You guys are evil in a beautiful way.
We love you guys.
And
And
Strudel
so
wants to
does
say thank you,
everybody
too.
else. Strudel, yay.
Yeah, thank you guys. Well, I was a little suspicious when you said we weren't going to do any videos. I was like, she's up to something. Up to something. Well,
That was amazing.
everyone who took part in that, thank you. And what a gift. Seriously. Thank you, guys.
And everybody easily jumped on board.
Well, we very much appreciate it. That was beautiful. Thank you.
You're
All
so
right.
welcome.
So now that everybody's on and on your birthday, hey, everybody, subscribe to Owen's YouTube page. Yeah.
Yes. YouTube
All right.
/ Owen Dara. Yes.
Yes, okay.
And Divine Rebel
And
Music.
ours too, if you haven't
Because thank you guys so much. We should probably get on with the show because
Yes.
enough about me and my birthday
yet. And Jessica, excuse me. And Jessica.
and Jessica. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Bye.
Thank you guys. Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Wow, well that was so sweet and so moving. Thank you so much. It's been cool. I got a lot of calls and a lot of messages today, and my family in Ireland, some of them phoned me today, which was an absolute gift, and some of them didn't phone me today, which was also a gift, if you know what I mean. So it's been a good day. So we want to talk a little bit about upcoming shows. So we like to support live music around Los Angeles and wherever else we connect to somebody who's doing a gig. And at the moment, there are none happening, so no gigs, but hopefully that'll change soon. And stay tuned. Later in the show, we're going to be telling you about the Facebook Live gigs that are happening. And tonight, of course, we have a great show coming up for you. We should mention that we have a tip jar, and we always appreciate your presence. But if you want to throw something, the comment just came up from Dolly, tipping is not just for cows. Well, tipping shouldn't be for cows, just community service. And also they help our musical guest. We share with our musical guest, and we've got, as we do every week, we've got a really fantastic musical guest with us tonight, and I'll tell you a little bit more about the guest in a moment. But so the links are there, and if you feel like throwing something in the tip jar, we really do appreciate it. Now, so as I said, we have a great show for you tonight, and our guests this evening are Pure and Weary. They're a very funny comedy duo. They're made up of Leah Friars and Catherine Biskubik. It's very difficult names to say, so thankfully they're known as Pure and Weary. Much easier. They're both trained with the famous Second City group in Chicago, and since then, they've been honing their talents as individual comedians and as a duo, and they've created and performed a number of very hilarious live shows and some equally entertaining sketches online. And we're going to be visiting some of their sketches later on, and we'll also be having a chat with them, so please do stay tuned for that. And a little bit later after that, we're going to be going all the way to Australia, Canberra, Australia, to meet with Lisa Richards, and she's one of Australia's premier singer-songwriters. She's absolutely great live. She's a great performer. She's a prolific songwriter, having recorded a total of 7 solo albums to date. Yeah, 7 solo albums of her original songs. And if you happened to tune in yesterday to our Second Sunday Songwriter series, you'll have seen a music video that we played of hers featuring her original song titled Water. And if you saw that, you'll know that this artist has something very special to offer the world, and we're actually very honored that she's choosing to be with us tonight. Not only to talk to us, but she's also going to play some of her music live, some of her songs live for us all the way from Australia. So do stay tuned for that. And coming up now, we have our weekly segment that always makes us smile, and it's very uplifting, and it's hosted and written by the beautiful and the talented birthday girl herself. This is On the Upside with Jessica Lancaster.
Happy Monday, everyone. Have you ever wanted to find a hidden treasure? I know ever since I was a little girl and I saw the Goonies that was a dream of mine. Well, a treasure chest estimated to be worth over $1 million, hidden in the Rocky Mountains for a decade, has finally been found. Now, this was not left by pirates. It was hidden there by an art and antique collector, Forrest Fenn. Fenn left clues to the treasure located in a poem published in his 2010 autobiography. He used it to create a treasure hunt to inspire people to explore nature and to give hope to those affected by that Great Recession. Fenn estimates that over 350,000 people from all over the world hunted for the treasure. The man who found the treasure wished to remain anonymous. So good for him. There is more evidence that being kind is good for us. A new study published this week suggested that doing altruistic acts such as volunteering can help us live longer. The research published by the American Journal of Preventive Medicine found that people over the age of 50 that volunteer for 2 hours a week have a reduced risk of mortality, less chance of developing physical impairments, and improved sense of well-being compared to those who don't. So, let's all be kind to one another for our own sake. PayPal. PayPal's amazing. PayPal announced a $530 million commitment to support Black and minority-owned businesses and communities in the U.S., especially those hardest hit by the pandemic. Far too long, Black people in America have faced deep-seated injustice and systemic economic inequality, said Dan Schulman, president and CEO of PayPal. We must take decisive action to close the racial wealth gap that sustains this profound inequality. Now, that is amazing news. Nearly 130 years ago, Italian explorer Elio Magliani arrived at a natural history museum in Genoa with a lizard he reportedly collected from the forests of Indonesia. But no accounts of finding another such lizard was ever recorded until now. Ladies and gentlemen, meet the nose-horned dragon lizard, or Harpesaurus magdaleni. I'm sure I said that right. He's not been seen for 130 years, and I, for one, am happy to know this little cutie is still on Earth. Kind of want one. And it's my birthday, by the way. Now, for, I believe you pronounce this name, Ayan. This adorable little one repeats his morning affirmations every day, and I just had to share. Super cute.
I am smart. I am blessed. I can do anything. I am smart. I am blessed. I can do anything. I am smart. I am blessed. I can do anything.
Okay, everyone, repeat after me. I am smart. I am blessed. I can do anything. Yay! And you can do anything. All right, that's it for today. If you have any good news that you want to share, just send it on over to us and we will spread the love. Have a great one. Mwah.
Thank you, Jessica Lancaster. That was On the Upside with Jessica Lancaster. And didn't I tell you it would make you smile? Very well done, Jessica. Thank you so much. And up next, we have Pure and Weary. As I said earlier, they're a very funny comedy duo who have headlined and performed at many festivals around the country, including Seattle Sketch Fest, Philly Sketch Fest, Chicago Sketch Comedy Festival, and NYC Sketch Fest. They've also performed regularly in Los Angeles at the Second City and also at the Comedy Central stages. And their comedy videos have been featured on Vulture, Funny or Die, Up Rocks, USA Today, Hoo Ha Ha, which is fun to say, and the IO Comedy Network. One of their most recent videos, which was inspired during the COVID-19 lockdown, a lot of what was going on, they decided to put into the video. It's already surpassed 700,000 views on TikTok. And tonight we're pleased to add one more view to that video on our show. This is Instacart with Pure and Weary.
Groceries are here. I'll start the spaghetti. Wait a minute, these aren't mine.
This is Katrina, what's up?
Hi, Katrina, you just dropped off groceries at my house, and I think I have the wrong bag.
Nope.
These aren't any of my things. I ordered spaghetti.
They were out of spaghetti, so I replaced it with a basketball, because basketball is fun.
Okay. What about the binder clip?
They were out of ground beef, and I just figured you'd want to grasp hold of something. And before you mentioned the djembe, they were out of tomato sauce, and you looked like a lady who needed a little rhythm in her life.
Katrina, I really appreciate all the work you're doing, but how is this going to help me make a meal for my family?
Did you get to the bottom of the bag yet?
Marriage certificate between me and Michael B. Jordan? What? What about my husband?
I replaced him.
Thanks, Instacart.
Don't forget that 5-star rating.
Thank you, Instacart, and thank you, Pure and Weary. A great video, as I said, surpassed 700,000 views already on TikTok. And let's meet the ladies of the hour. This is Pure and Weary.
Hi.
Hi. It's good to see you guys. How are you doing?
Doing well. How are you? Happy birthday.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Yes, I was very moved by that video that you didn't bother taking part on, but that's okay. No problem.
You were busy getting Instacart.
Well, I know. And now that you're like Insta famous with your Instacart on TikTok. And was that your first video on TikTok?
No. We started in quarantine.
Yeah,
Okay.
like right at the beginning. We probably have about 15 up there.
Okay, but you've only been on TikTok a few months and you're already getting like 750,000 views. That's amazing.
Yeah, we don't know how it works, but
Yeah. You
we'll
just
take
put
it.
it on. You put it on there blind and you hope for the best.
we're famous with 14-year-olds, I guess.
Oh, well, that's good. Well, why not, you know?
Yeah.
You know, one day they'll come of age and they'll come to your shows and you'll be old women. Well, actually, speaking of which, you have another video where you play these two ladies. Is it Harriet and Sylvia? Is that right?
Yeah.
Now, how do you come up with your characters? Are you making fun of people you know?
That one is who we will become.
Okay.
So we've been playing them for a while and we just know it's our future.
Yeah, so we put them in different situations. We've played them in live shows and in videos. So we just like to see what they're up to every once in a while.
You're basically preparing for your future. You're creating it now so that you know what it feels like. Well, they're very funny. I think hopefully we're going to get a chance to play one of those later on so we see those great characters. And so those are you in the future. Now, are there any sketches that you base on other people you know?
Yes.
Yes.
We don't tell them.
Yes, I wonder, do they ever recognize themselves?
Sometimes it's hard not to know. We've definitely done our parents before, and that's just,
Yeah.
it's too obvious.
Right. And it's okay because you live on the other side of the country because you guys are both from the Midwest. Is that right?
Yeah.
And then you studied in Chicago. What was that like studying at the Second City?
It was great to start there because they have been around for so long that they have their structure and their beats, and so it was a great place to start. And then to break off and kind of create our own thing was also great to come from that.
Yeah, and I also studied at the Annoyance Theater too as well, which was another great comedy theater in Chicago, which kind of had a different ethos. They were just, throw something up on stage and we'll see if it works, whereas Second City is a little more structured. So it was good to have that balance of those two schools of thought.
Well, and you guys do a lot of live shows, so I assume you're testing out a lot of stuff when you're doing it live, throwing it up there and see if it works. And I've seen a couple of your live shows, and I survived and I laughed, and it was always a lot of fun. And you guys have been working together so long that your timing and the way you work off each other, it's so tight. How long have you been together as a duo?
6 years.
6 years. Yeah.
Wow.
In November it'll be.
That'll be
6 years.
6 years. So like 5.5.
And you obviously work very well together. I mean, what is your writing process like? Do you have a kind of a Lennon and McCartney thing where one person writes the sketch and then the other person contributes like a little bit, and you call it as how does it work?
No, it's more balanced.
Yeah.
We have totally different styles, and so we know kind of what the sketch needs. Like if it needs like instantly funny, we will always come in and make it funny. If it needs like a little more structure, a little more grounding.
That's our girl over here.
And we flip sometimes on those tendencies, but
because now we can kind of anticipate what the other one would say.
Oh, wow.
So we can get it in there. But we generally try to stick with a theme. So all of our shows are based off of one theme. And then we break it down based on what we want to write about that. And so we'll each take some scenes and then flip them and pass them to the other person to continue. Just depends on what we need.
Because at one of the festivals you did a theme about being in your 20s. And how was, I mean, obviously you guys are, if you're not in your 20s, you're close to it. So you guys were at least in your 20s at that point, if you're not now.
Yeah.
I don't guess women's ages. I don't even go in there.
Birthday,
so. That's right. You just had your birthday a couple of days ago. You were telling us in the sound check. And happy birthday.
Thank you. So many Geminis.
Geminis all round. Yeah. And so that theme, that was one of the themes you did, was about being in your 20s. So then every sketch has to relate to what it's like being in your 20s in the modern era.
That one was called Roaring in Our 20s, but it was about the 1920s as well. So we put that one around. It was right after the election, and so we did a comparison to Warren G. Harding's presidency. He had his campaign catchphrase was "Return to Normalcy." So we wanted to kind of compare, and we wanted to wear flappers dresses the whole time as well.
Oh, yes,
part of
very
the
important.
decision. Yeah. And so every sketch had to do with the 1920s or our 20s.
Yeah, we were in our 20s then. We're not now.
We're just
you're not.
out.
Okay.
We made it out.
We're out.
Okay, well, congratulations. I'm very happy. And you guys have won awards too. Like, didn't you win Best Sketch Group in Joshua Tree?
Yeah, they have a festival every summer now. I don't know if they're doing it anymore. Probably not. But yeah, that was a really cool experience. They kind of turned it into a contest, which we didn't realize going into the festival. And then they said we won, and we were like, what?
Wow.
Cool.
So you didn't even know it was a competition, and then suddenly they're giving you a prize, and you're like, well, I didn't think we were competing. You know, maybe that's probably why the show went so well, because there's no pressure. It's just like, I don't care about these people. I'll never see them again, right? And then...
So we loved them.
What's that?
We loved them there.
Okay, yeah. Well, Joshua Tree is a great place. Very, very spiritual place. A lot of artists live out there. I love it, of course. You know, it's us you probably don't care about. You may not ever see us again. So you know, and also speaking of which, no, I'm sure we would love to see you again. You know what? It's my birthday. I can say what I want, and I'll be honest. I had a champagne or two this afternoon because in the local pub up the street, the couple that own the pub have the same birthday as me and Jessica, so all four of us are June 15th.
Wow.
So they always like, oh, just come around for a drink, but like it's a bar and they're allowed, you know, people go in with face masks and you can stay to like one table or whatever, and you know, they serve food and all that, and so endless supply. Anyway, moving on. So the show that I saw, you guys, one of the ones at a Comedy Central stage, there were a lot of puns in your show. Is that a thing that you guys like to do?
That's this girl.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I like puns.
Right.
My grandpa was big on puns, and I feel like I had to keep the tradition going.
Yeah, so you learn how to
Like
pun
the
from your
wordplay.
Well, that's the role. That's the role of granddads and dads, is to do puns, right? And so that rubbed off on you. Yeah, but it was very funny. I think there was a lot of music puns or something.
Oh,
you were
yeah.
doing.
Harmony and melody.
Harmony and melody. Yeah,
Yeah.
It was very clever. You weren't sticking to the standard puns, and you weren't getting any groans. You were getting laughs, and I was thinking,
You know, that
these
was
are puns.
That was a funny one because we did it in a few different cities, and some cities we did get a lot of growth.
Really?
They just were not into it.
Well, like I guess the West Hollywood audience are probably very giving, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like your local town, because you guys live around there, right? You live in
Yeah.
West Hollywood? Yeah.
East Hollywood.
We're in East, yeah.
Oh, you're in East Hollywood. Is that like where the cool girls live? I don't know.
Kind of. It's where we live.
Now it
Yeah,
is.
then it must be cool. And so then there was a sketch too. I want to ask you about this because I heard that this came from a real experience. There was something about taser underwear. So I need to know, because I've heard this story and I need to know the details.
Those were the products.
The safety product.
product.
That was in the
Yeah.
Monster Show. So we
Yeah.
had like a runner in that Monster Show where it was like, protect yourself. Here is a safety product. And
Right.
it's pink. And yeah.
But
then,
didn't it come, Leah, didn't it come from like a taxi driver somewhere that
Yes.
in Oregon was telling you
Yes.
something about, you
Yes.
wanted to tell me the story.
So he was asking me, and my boyfriend was with me at the time. He was asking us, he wanted to tell us about his product pitch.
Mm-hmm.
And it was this underwear that would tase you if you were touched and didn't want to be touched.
Oh
He
my
didn't
God.
explain the science behind it or the logistics of how that would work at all.
Right.
But, he thought that it was definitely a great product for women to have. And I said to him, why do women have to buy products to protect themselves? Why can't people just leave them alone?
Yeah.
He said, no, this is how it's going to be. And he definitely thought that, it was going to make it big. And he was very clear about us not spreading that around. So we turned it into a sketch that everyone could know.
But he wasn't pitching it as a joke. He was pitching it as something
He
real
was dead serious.
that he wanted you to invest in, right? Because you were
Yes.
living in
Yes.
Hollywood, and he's like, "Oh, you got to invest in this product," and then you make a joke out of it.
Yeah, he sent us his website, which also had a hammock that traveled, and I was like, "Don't all hammocks travel, man? Like what?"
So I guess as a comedian, you need to be around such people to give you these great ideas and inspiration.
Oh,
Now, do you
yeah.
ever get people? I know when I was doing stand-up, I would get this all the time, and people say, "No, I got a funny joke. Like this is it now. Like my cousin who never buys lottery tickets ever bought 2 lottery tickets, and it was just like you'll make it funny. I mean, I know it doesn't sound funny now, but you'll, and it's just like, well, there's no joke. Like, do you guys get pitched sketches all the time?
all the
yes.
time, like just
All
a
the time.
text yesterday. But somehow
Really?
I like it because like one of those short videos we did in quarantine, Leah got sent a video of these 2 women in the woods just being like, air, water, and they were like, Pierre and Mary, take this, and we did it. We like went outside and just like channeled their vibe, and so sometimes it's great. Sometimes we're like, no.
Nothing there. But thanks
Yeah, but
anyway.
it's actually so cool though that people are able to do that. What I mean that you sometimes get something that's actually of value to you, but I would say 90+% of it is probably just like, are you kidding? Like,
Yeah.
I would get that. People would tell me stories, but there's nothing funny, and they're like, you'll make it
Yeah,
funny, and I'm like.
yeah.
No, like I don't have a magic wand. If it's not funny, it's
Right.
not funny.
Or the worst is when they find out we're comedians and they say, "Okay, great, tell me a joke."
I know.
I don't what.
Or they say, "Well, you're not funny now," and it's just like, "Oh, please."
Yeah. I'm like, you have to pay us first because we're professionals, okay?
Yeah, that's right. But then if they hand you money, you're just like, "Oh shoot, I don't have
Yeah.
anything funny to say right now." How did you get the name Pure and Weary? Is one of you like a virgin and the other one exhausted all the time? Like what?
So they're actually our names.
They are?
Catherine means pure and Leah means weary.
Wow. Such a great comedy duo name. Now, we're actually going to play one of your sketches now because we saw this sketch and we're just like, we're just going to have to play this. And this is, I believe it's the British Rockers. It's called British Rockers, right?
Mhm.
Okay, Dolly, why don't you roll it there and we'll come back and we'll chat a little more. This is
Okay.
British
Okay.
Rockers, Pure and Weary.
My song lessons on during the day, because it's when I need them. I wear so much smoky eyeshadow, I can barely open my eyes. I'm gonna put my slap bracelets on to practice slapping. I'm gonna wear a dress that barely covers me bum. I'll put my fangs in, try to take a bite out of this music. I'm gonna keep this flask in my boot, nick for later. It's later. War paint. I'm gonna drink this detergent. Spikes. I'm gonna smoke this apple. Cigarette. Don't worry, Mum, it's fake. I'm gonna punch you in the face. Hot showtime! Hello, Zoom Show! Are you ready to rock? Yeah!
Fantastic. So you guys are very good at accents. I love this. I'm going to save this for later. This is later. The whole thing is very funny. And you got to keep it down to a minute because of TikTok. Is that right?
Yeah.
And I guess Instagram too is like a minute or a minute 15 or something.
Yeah, it's actually been good to make them that short.
Just
Yeah,
for
because
a
then-
challenge. Yeah.
And do you do a lot more and then you cut it down to a minute? Is that how it works?
Yeah, we just take a bunch of footage and then whatever's funniest.
Yeah. Because I can imagine just being those characters and just standing there with the camera and just like improving and just
that one was very much like, what props do we have? Just hold this and say something.
Say something funny.
Yeah. And to my ear, the accents actually sounded very good, but I don't know. But I've heard you guys do Irish accents, and I would just, you don't have to apologize now. You don't have to apologize now, but sometime in the future, I would like to get a written apology to my people.
Apologize for what?
You want an apology for your people.
It's never gonna happen.
Oh my God, no, the videos you do of the Irish stuff is very funny. There's one Paddy's Day video. We don't have time to change it now, but we don't have time to show it now, but oh my God, it's so funny where you're trying to get into a pub on Paddy's Day. First time I saw that, I just cracked up. And it's very funny. And then you have another one, I think, when you baking or something, and it's the Irish, and they're bad Irish accents, but they're funny. They're funny bad.
So doesn't that make it makes it okay?
Absolutely makes it okay. And I think didn't you guys, weren't you on like an Irish radio station in Chicago or something?
We were.
As Irish guests? How did you pull that off?
Yeah, because like the comedy festival we were at, they ask your breakdown, and I'm what?
You're a quarter.
I'm a quarter.
I'm
right.
Half. We don't even know. But then they have us on the show, and they're like, Biscupic
and Friars.
Why are you on this show? And we're like, freckles.
Yeah, look at my eye color.
But I guess that's how you work it. Any bit of publicity they're prepared to throw your way. Like, it'd be like, oh yeah, I'm Swedish. Like, if you need, oh, absolutely, yeah, you know.
Yeah, it was a little. Yeah, we felt bad about it.
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait for you guys to get back doing live shows so we can see you around town again. It's always a pleasure to see you. And I have to ask you too. You're doing a Zoom variety show, is that right?
Yeah. So we've been doing those. We've done a couple. We've been pairing them with trivia, and people log in, and we have guests.
What's been nice is that we've been able to have guests from all over. Whereas, like when we're here, we can just have LA performers, but now we can have anybody we've met in festivals, Chicago, New York.
Same as this show, like Australia. That's great.
Yeah, well, that's right. We're going to Australia after you guys. And so that's the thing is, so they're performing on the Zoom call, and then people tune in.
Yeah.
And wow. Okay.
And so you can kind of see everybody in the Zoom, so it feels like a little audience.
And if any of our viewers want to come in on that, how is that possible?
Just follow. We're putting it together right now. So if they follow us on Facebook or Instagram
or TikTok.
Or TikTok. Well, we don't have too many 14-year-olds tuning in, but you never know.
Tell your kids.
So, yeah, gotta start them young. It's so funny. So that's the next one is in June, right? It's later this month?
Yeah, right now it's end of the month, yeah.
Okay, so we can follow you at Pure and Weary on Facebook, and then we can find you on Instagram and TikTok if we're if we're underage.
Yes, and we also have a present for you. For your birthday.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Now
we got you a cupcake.
We got you a cupcake.
Oh, thank you.
That we get to eat.
That we're gonna eat. Make a wish, and we'll blow it out for you.
Oh my God.
It was good. Okay, we're gonna eat it with that. Oh, it's so good, Owen. You should really have some. Oh my God, it's so good.
I can't
even.
Oh my God.
This is the best, worst birthday ever. You guys are fantastic. Thank you so much. Revenge is coming. I don't know how, but it's coming.
Give me a bite.
Oh yeah, there's one for you.
All right.
So good.
We're gonna leave you guys, but we're gonna play a clip of your future selves, and so we look forward to seeing you again. Thank you so much for being with us, and everybody watching, check out Pure and Weary. They're very funny, and thank you for spending this time with us and for eating my birthday cake. You guys you're just the best. Thinking of my calorie intake. You're so kind.
It's all for you.
All right, guys. We will see you soon. Thank you.
Bye, Owen.
Thank you, guys. This is a very funny video of, as Catherine and Leah say, of their future selves. This is Sylvia and Harriet.
Hi, Sylvia. Social distance walk and a life check. I am distant and I am alive.
Oh, good. Me too.
How are you?
I took a permanent marker on my roots this morning, so feeling good. Fabulous. How are you?
You look beautiful. This student named Samuel started calling me for his volunteer hours, and we mostly talk about Yorkshire Terriers and I replayed Tiddlywink on the internet.
I took up knitting and I made a pot holder. Then I remembered I hated knitting and holding pots, so.
I started meditating, mostly about muffins.
I took a bath in my niece's baby pool.
I'm a little sad.
I'm a little horny.
Oh, well, I'm gonna go in and take a nap now.
Okay, bye, Harriet. How do I turn this off? Hello? Can you help me? Oh, thank
Okay, I remember I hated pots and holding pots. Pot holders and okay, very, very funny. And I think the important thing about comedy is not to take yourself too seriously. And they're certainly not taking themselves seriously. I love it at the end when one of them pops into the other's frame. So it's supposed to be a Zoom call. Love it. Thank you so much. A 1-minute video, very funny. And they have so much content online. So go check out Pure and Weary. You won't regret it. You'll have a good laugh. And thank you so much. Thank you to them for joining us. And thank you for staying with us, audience. And it's going to be worth it because we're going to go right into our musical guest now. And she's Lisa Richards. She's one of Australia's premier singer-songwriters who to date has recorded 7 albums. And now her original songs have not only been featured in film and on television, but have also appeared on compilation albums alongside some of the world's greatest artists, including Adele and Nina Simone. And who doesn't love Adele and Nina Simone? Wow. To be in their company, amazing. She has performed at a number of musical festivals, including Telluride Bluegrass Festival, the Rocky Mountain Folks Festival, and South by Southwest. Before we meet her, we'd like to play a clip of one of her videos. This is Weather by Lisa Richards.
You're just a man building in sand. You plant your crops down in the dirt. You pray for rain, but not too much. You burn your candles and you wish for luck. You cannot fight the weather. You can't control the wind. You cannot move a mountain, nor make a songbird sing.
Obviously not the full video, but wow, the bit we saw just gives us such an insight into who she is and her talent, and we're very excited to have her with us here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Lisa Richards.
Hello, Owen.
Hi, Lisa. So good to see you. How are you?
I am very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good.
Happy
I'm good, thank you.
birthday. Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you so much. Now, but you're in Australia, so it's already tomorrow in Australia, right?
That's right. I am in Tomorrowland.
Yes, you are. And I see there we have songs from far away with Lisa Richards. That's wonderful because your audience, I guess, is far and wide.
And sometimes I think it's like from Oz, you know.
Ah,
So-
yes.
From
Because
the
we
land
refer-
of Oz.
We refer to Australia as Oz sometimes, which is a lovely moniker for that beautiful country. Now, speaking of Australia, you're from Queensland, from Townsville, I believe. Is that right?
I am.
And I would imagine that song we just heard would have been inspired by the drought years that were experienced up in Queensland.
Actually, I wrote this song in my friend Irene's kitchen in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
And I wrote it, actually it was after the floods in Brisbane.
Ah.
So, but I was living in America, but it just got me thinking about the weather. Like, you know,
Mhm.
I mean, people are always talking about the weather.
Yes.
Like it's, you know, when you don't have anything to talk about, you talk about the weather. But
Mhm.
now it's super, super important, the weather, because we rely on rain and
Yes.
sun and
Yeah, and certainly in your part of the world, you know, where they talk about praying for rain. I know that's a mantra during a lot of the seasons because, of course, the farmers need it. And you know, you write a lot of, you know, that song I was talking about earlier, Water. Um, you know, it could be about rain and praying for rain, but it's a metaphor for so much more. And I'm not going to talk too much about it because you might play that you might play that song today, you might not. But we played the video yesterday, and I think we've decided we might finish the show with that video also because it was just so moving and so wonderful. So our viewers will see what I'm talking about. We don't need to describe it. And you were telling me during the sound check that that video, Weather, is the only one that you actually made yourself. Is that right?
Yeah, well, I made a couple of other, just little things. But basically, that was my first kind of like attempt. I think I've done maybe 2 others.
Okay.
And they're on YouTube. But so yeah, that was my first attempt.
And your dad was not a fan, you were telling me?
Yeah, he made me promise never to make another video. He said it was not my talent.
Okay.
Making videos weren't my talent. I should steer clear of it.
Wow. So basically he just wanted you to stick to music.
Maybe. He was about 98 when he said that.
Okay.
So
and now he's a centenarian. He's beyond 100, right, at this point? Is he still giving you 102? Is he still giving you the same critiques?
Yeah, he's always good for a critique.
Wow. Well, once he stops critiquing you, then you'll start to worry. Otherwise, you know he's doing fine. I want to go back to your early career because you started in Townsville in Queensland, but you didn't do a whole lot of music when you were there. And then did you move to Sydney for music, or did you find music in Sydney?
What happened was I wanted to make music, but I didn't feel like I could do it in Townsville where everybody knew me, and there were like expectations of who I was, which were pretty low, let's just say. The expectations of who I was pretty low, but familiarly, I was the daughter of the only psychiatrist in that part of the world, and and I was also a complete delinquent. So I felt like I needed to go somewhere where nobody knew me.
Yeah, I get that as an artist because then you can fail in front of strangers. If you're failing in front of your family, and I suppose too, you being the daughter of the only psychiatrist, as you say, and I know you're very open about your delinquency and your drug use. In fact, I read that on your website. And congratulations on being, what is it, about 3 decades sober now?
Yeah.
Wow, congratulations. And you spent some time, I know we were talking about John Baker, who's a guy that I was fortunate enough to share the stage with all those years back. But he sort of discovered you in King's Cross, right?
Well, it was Greg Reeves, who was also a good friend of John Baker. So, so Greg Reeves, I guess, discovered me at Brackets and Jam, and then he introduced me pretty quickly to John Baker because he thought we should all make music together. Yeah.
And that's how you formed the band.
The Cavers.
And there you are.
There
wow.
we are.
Wow, well, that is just an amazing photograph. Will you look at that, all you guys? Wow. And so you called yourself the Cavers because...
There I am with my red hair and ringlets, and then shortly after that I shaved my head, and then that other photo was as it was starting to grow back.
Oh, that looks very cool. Well, no wonder you had to leave Townsville. And so you called yourself the Cavers because tell us about your first gig and how you came up with that name.
Well, we formed in order to play a concert in a cave, Abercrombie Cave, the largest single expanse limestone cave in the Southern Hemisphere. So,
wow.
It had a suspension bridge and a little river running through it.
Oh.
Yeah, and that was built used to be a hideout for bush rangers in there, and then there's also, of course, I believe there's a, I don't know the exact mythology of the Dreamtime, but I believe it's supposedly the birthplace of the rainbow serpent, but I'm a little foggy on that one.
Wow.
But it has history, that cave, and that stage was built a long time ago.
Wow. And it's interesting that you started your first gig with the great John Baker, who's now a South Australian Hall of Famer, I believe. And you have done one of your last gigs before the lockdown as a tribute to John Baker. And I saw that concert on YouTube, and some great Australian musicians and singers. You filled out a theater in, I guess it was Adelaide?
Adelaide, yeah.
And
that was the last gig I played before lockdown.
Wow. Wow. And it was very, very moving. And I know you were close to John. And to hear you do one of his songs with, I think it was like a 7-piece band on stage, it was extraordinary. So anybody watching, look up John Baker of the Baker Suite. The Baker Suite, a great, great Australian band. And it was a concert in his memory. And so, and speaking of the lockdown and all this, how is it treating you in Australia? Are you guys, is it the same as here where you have to wear masks and you can't go out, or how is it there?
It depends where you're living, I think, but they're starting to open up the country bit by bit. So some people are still wearing masks. There's still, social distancing is definitely still a thing. So they're pushing that. But just like everywhere else, if you go out to the mall, you try and stay 1.5 meters away from the next person.
Right. And so I think that's almost 6 feet, 1.5 meters. Yeah, you actually get a little closer in Australia to each other. We're 6 feet, so it's a little more than 1.5 meters. And so your tour then, I know you were planning to come and tour later this year to America, and that's all canceled now, I guess?
Yeah, so I will be doing a lot of regional touring in Australia. And I guess I will be back over there sometime next year, hopefully. Meaning, I don't know what you guys are doing over there, but it looks pretty crazy from here.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, the hope is that we'll all be back to normal next year and we can all get back to doing gigs, but we'll see. But for now, I know you're doing a lot of Facebook Live shows, and how can we watch those? Is there a place people can go to see your Facebook Live shows?
Yeah, so I do a little 30-minute show every Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern Australia time, which is 9 p.m. New York, which would be 6 p.m.
6 p.m.
West Coast America, and that's at facebook.com/Lisa Richards Music.
Fantastic. Well, we'll check that out. But in the meantime, while we have you here, we'd love to hear a couple of songs live if you're open to it.
Yeah, I thought I'd do something that was inspired by my misspent youth.
Great.
It's not released yet, but it might be the next single, actually. Not sure. Although, what does that even mean anymore?
I have no idea.
I was lonely, too much sadness seeping from my skin, second by second, word by word, the die was cast. I didn't ask for it, it's just the thing that came to pass. We were dominoes, spinning round, falling to the ground, colliding in specks of light, leaving chaos all around in our town, in our town. that was Dominoes, so you just want me to rock right into another song, I guess, right? Okay, so let's do, I'll do another new song. The song's called Little Bird, and yeah, I'll just play it for you. Caught up in letters, tangled around my tongue. Words pile up behind my teeth. There's no fuel in my lungs. So much I could tell you, but I can't say a word. I just sit and listen. I'm like a little bird. I'm a little bird. Don't know what you heard, but I'm just a little bird. One day I'll be stronger, and you will hear my song, and I'll be louder than a brass band, brighter than the sun, beating hot beneath my skin, feathers, fur, and blood. You won't forget the things you heard from this little bird. I'm a little bird. No matter what you heard, I'm just a little bird. I am not a prophet, and I am not a queen. I'm a dervish whirling on the edges of your bravest dreams. Blow you to the ground, pick you up again. You won't forget the things you heard from this little bird. I'm a little bird. No matter what you heard, I'm just a little bird.
Thank you, Lisa. Wow. Couple of great songs. And yes, that first one, let's hope it's a single. We'd love to hear more of that. Now, you're not coming over this year, unfortunately, but you generally come to the States about once a year. Is that correct?
Yes, once a year. So I'll be looking to get back on my once a year schedule.
And hopefully,
as soon as I can.
yeah. And this is sort of your home from home in a sense, because didn't you live a number of years in New York?
New York and Austin, Texas.
And you did most of your recording in one of those places?
New York and Austin, Texas.
Wow. So those where most of your albums are done. And I think is the most recent one was done in Australia?
Yes. So I've made one album in Australia, and that was my last one.
Yeah, and you know, I read in the liner notes, your producer, Greg, his last name escapes me now, but he was a producer for Paul Kelly, I believe. Yeah, wow, you're in good company there. Have you?
Yeah.
Have you worked with Paul Kelly? I know you've shared the stage with a lot of big acts.
I opened up for him once in Austin, but No, I've not worked with him.
Yeah, well, you opened for Paul Kelly. That's pretty amazing. I know you've shared this stage with a lot of greats. I mean, Michelle Shocked, and the list is long. So when you were in Austin, Texas, now I know you're very open about this, and I read this on your website, so I can say you were in a relationship, a marriage, and these are your words, unless you have a publicist writing this copy, but it said something to the effect of your relationship came to a tsunami-like end.
Yes.
So without getting into details on that, has that inspired a lot of music?
Well, I think, it was a long marriage. I think I wrote a lot of songs, in that marriage. So it was a long time inspirer.
Ah, good, good. Well, I guess that's the good thing about pain, right? About the ups and downs, and it sounds like your childhood too. You had a lot of ups and downs, and that's what makes people artists, right? If what good is the happy childhood,
Apparently, it's no good whatsoever.
And that's what I hear. It's no good. So we have to be grateful for the tumultuous childhoods that we've had as artists. Now, so you're there in Australia. You said you're going to be doing some regional tours in Australia. What is the music scene like there? Because, here we have venues we can go and we're appreciated for original music. The work that I've done in Australia, I know I did a lot of gigs around King's Cross like you did. And I remember there was a pub I used to play in, O'Malley's. I don't know if you remember O'Malley's in King's Cross. Well, if you did one of your original songs there, you'd practically get kicked out. You'd get fired. They just wanted all covers. They didn't want any original. And I feel like there's more of a vibe over here where originals are more accepted. What is the landscape like in your experience?
Well, I think there's a burgeoning underground scene. See, I think house concerts and kind of alternate music collectives and venues, they're there. You have to look for them, but there are a lot of musicians that create venues and do series just like you guys. So there's a great one in Adelaide, the Stone Pony. They do a once a month show, and that, they have a great audience. And so, I mean, there's definitely a market for it. And I think, there are many, many gigs where you will go and get paid to be ignored. And
yes. Yeah.
And I'm kind of over that. I'd rather play for 20 people who are listening than, a room full of people that are being so loud I can't hear anything in the monitor.
Yes, but I guess sometimes those gigs, especially early in your career, you take what you can get. And
well,
so
I think, and if you're on tour, then maybe it's a gig that just, fills a date. So you're not spending money in the middle of the week, you're making a little money.
Yeah. And then, of course, when the song over here is Freebird, is the joke that is, people are like, Freebird! Whereas in Australia, I think it's like, is it Working Class Man? At least it used to be. Jimmy Barnes?
Oh, yeah. I don't think they'd be asking me to do that. I don't know what they'd be asking me to do. We'll have to find out. I'll let you know.
Stay away from those gigs then. Do the intimate gigs where you have the people listening and they appreciate your original music. I mean, that's the dream, I see a lot of instruments in your room. Are you multi-instrumental? Obviously, you play guitar, but I see, is that a banjo and a piano behind you?
That is a banjo, and that is a piano. I like to write, use piano to write, and I'm not really much of a piano player. And then banjo, I got that for the same reason. I thought it would be good to write on. Sad to say, I have not really done much with that banjo.
Well,
but I'll tell you when I do get, I guess my goal will be to write my first song on banjo. There you go.
Oh, well, good. Well, I hope you'll come back and premiere that with us. And I have to say, even though you don't play it, even if you don't play them very much, that is a very impressive setup behind you. You look like a serious studio musician.
Well, I'm just starting to record and produce my own songs, so I got a grant from the government to do that.
Wow.
So yeah, there's quite a lot of grants happening now here to get live music reinvigorated. So we'll see what kinds of things come about from that.
Wow, that's wonderful. So you won a grant that allows you to record your next album?
No, this one is going to allow. Well, my last album I partially recorded with a grant, so they covered about half the money for the album.
Wow.
And this grant is to record and produce 5 songs to release ready myself with the mentorship of a producer in Nashville.
That is amazing. And it's the grant came from Australia?
Yeah, I haven't got the money yet. Actually, they just told me today it's not a huge grant, but it's helped with living expenses so I can learn some new skills.
Yeah, I mean, everything helps when you're a musician trying to record an album, because as far as I know, that's pretty much unheard of over here. We don't see much like that. So, I mean, people are always saying with the current economic and, you know, the climate, political climate, people are saying, we're moving to Canada, but maybe we should be considering Australia. It might be a better move. So,
yeah. I had never applied for grants before. Like, it never even occurred to me. Like, I'd done crowdfunding in America. Like, I did all the things that people do when there is no art support. But when I came back, it took me about 5 years before I even dared to apply for a grant. But I applied for one last year and I got one, and then I applied for one this year and I got one. So.
Well, congratulations. That's wonderful. I suppose, you know, it's probably very competitive, but then they listen to what their, you know, your past work, and they see probably what's going to come out of it. And so you're going to make you're up to 7 albums now, and we can expect even more. That's fantastic. Well, Lisa, it's just been an absolute pleasure talking to you. What would you be open to playing one more song before we finish?
Sure.
Great. And then we'll come back and maybe we'll have a little bit of a chat. Actually, you know, why am I saying one song? If you're open to doing 2, we're happy to have 2.
Really?
Yes.
How's the sound? Is it distorting a little bit on?
It sounds fantastic over here.
Okay, that's good. That's all I care about. I might take my headphones off when I do this one, though, because it's kind of distracting me to play with headphones on.
Great, and then we'll come back and we'll just kind of like maybe just have like a quick little chat before we let you back to your life.
Yes, I'll go back to my life.
Yes.
Okay, I'll do 2 more songs straight into it.
I love it. Thank you, Lisa.
I'll do my single. There you go.
Thank you.
All right. See you shortly. Okay, so this is a single that I just released. It's called Driving Me Crazy. I don't want to argue, don't want to fight, don't want to read your mind, tread on eggshells in the black of night. With no torch, I lie quietly, stockings on my feet, touch you tender, kiss you sweet, read a travel magazine while I'm waiting for the doctor to see me. And all I know is what I know. You're driving me crazy, driving me crazy. Well, don't say it's the clothes I wear that make you raise your hand again. Don't say it's the makeup on my face. The man across the street saw the bruises on my cheek, made me an offer. He would give me a ride down the mountain before I changed my mind. I packed my bag, I'd take a leap. I lie, I say I'm going to my sister's for a week. crazy, driving me crazy, driving me crazy. So that was driving me crazy. And let's see. So this is another, so they're all new songs. I think everyone that I've done is a new song. This song is called Places We Grow. And, you know, I'm always thinking about what it means to be human. I mean, it's not what happens for me. And it's always been that way. I always wondered, like, what was the point and why were we here and all of that stuff. This song is called Places We Grow. We find places we can grow in the valley down below, in our little patch of sun. We don't hide from anyone, 'cause every sunrise brings another day. We are bound to walk alone. Cannot put out in the valley after winter rain, blown upon the wind. We are restless to our bones as we start our wandering. But every sunrise brings another day. We are bound to walk alone. And every mountain brings a new desire, lights a fire that we cannot put out. Looking for illumination and a hard, cold guarantee that all our work is going somewhere, but where we do not see. 'Cause every sunrise brings another day. We are bound walk alone, and every mountain brings a new desire, lights a fire we cannot put out. So we want a reason for the flame that burns inside, keeps us dancing to a strange and distant drum. And when we burn out and our eyes no longer see what the truth is, well, it's down to you and me. 'Cause every sunrise brings another day. We are bound to walk alone, and every mountain brings a new desire, lights a fire
Thank you, Lisa. Wow,
You're
that
welcome.
was beautiful. And we just heard 2 new songs, right?
Yeah, you did.
And that's your little dog just passed there behind.
He can't help it.
Yeah, and that's a picture of your dog driving me crazy. It looks more like you, but sure. Okay, so this is the new single, Driving Me Crazy.
That's right. That's the new single. Sounds nothing like when I played it by myself because, you know, it's got slide guitar and
Yeah.
it kind of sounds like a rockin' Americana tune.
Well, as we'll see when we play your video, Water, as we leave tonight, we hear that you have a lot of arrangements on your CDs, on your recordings, but when you go live and you have just that sparse guitar, you're very rhythmic and melodic. You really don't need that much, and you know, it's just a great experience to have you, Lisa. And I wish we had more time, but
I wish we did too. I wish we had lots of time. Well, we have lots of time, but
well, we do, and you will be back over here,
yes,
and hopefully you'll be back. You'll be part of another one of our online shows, I hope.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, great, because we would always welcome you back, and we thank you for being with us tonight, coming all the way from Canberra, Australia. Thank you, Lisa. It's just been a pleasure listening to you and chatting to you.
And one more thing, people can get a free album if they sign up for my email list at lisarichardsmusic.com. So if you want to stay in touch and know when I'm coming to America or somewhere else, that's the way to do it.
Fantastic. Well,
thank you guys, and thanks Dolly and Divine Rebel Music. I love Divine Rebel Music and everyone involved.
They're fantastic.
JJ, Dolly.
And I know when you come to America, you always stop by and do a couple of shows for Divine Rebel Music, and that's how we got to know you and appreciate you, and thank you.
Yeah, I miss you guys. So yeah, it'll be great to be back there. But meanwhile, we have to do this. So
yes,
I'm happy to do this with you. Anytime.
Well, so happy to have you. Thank you again, Lisa. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye, y'all.
Wow, Lisa Richards. Wow, thank you. What a talent. And all the way from, as I said, from Canberra, Australia. Her reviews are just stunning. One reviewer, David Costello from the Brisbane Courier Mail, said she's a tour de force of unflinching and honest writing. And if you go to her website, the list of reviews are long. Go to her website, lisarichardsmusic.com. And as she said, if you sign up for the mailing list, you get a free album. Well, that is fantastic. And you can also check out her music on her Facebook page. That's Lisa Richards Music, Facebook/Lisa Richards Music, and also at Lisa Richards Music on Instagram. So basically, oh, I see. Okay. So basically, sorry, I was just getting a message there, and I thought, oh, my fearless leader Dolly is messaging me about some upcoming gigs, and I'm going to go through the upcoming gigs right now. So, but before I do, one of the gigs that I should tell you about or remind you of is Lisa Richards is playing every Sunday, 6 p.m. West Coast time on her Facebook page. She'll be streaming live, so do check that out. Upcoming shows, other upcoming shows, Saturday, June 20th at 7 p.m. We have Sweet Sounds Around Town. That's featuring Non-Duo and Greg in Good Company, 2 wonderful acts. So that's really going to be a great evening. That's next Saturday night starting at 7 p.m. Show runs for around an hour, and 2 really high quality acts that you're going to really enjoy. So please come back to us for that. It'll be streaming on the same platforms, Divine Rebel Music and Owen Dara Music. Monday, June 22nd at 7 p.m. Songs and Sit-Downs. That's this show. We'll be back next week, and we'll have Michael Shipley, who's an executive producer for many of the very popular comedy TV shows that we see. He's also a writer for them, and he's not only that, he's a photographer, he's a musician, he's a very interesting guy. So we're going to have a really good chat with him, and looking forward to that. Also, Ted Russell Camp, who just this year won his first Grammy, and he's a great act, great person to have a chat with. So that's going to be next Monday. So if you enjoyed this show, you're definitely going to enjoy that show. Great acts coming up next week also. And then Monday, June 29th, so that's the following week, we'll be back with Songs and Sit-Downs, and we're going to have David Nathan, who I believe he was a publicist back in the day of a lot of the great musical acts that tour the world. I think Diana Ross and people of that caliber. And so we're going to be talking to him about those days when he was working with all those acts and his experiences. And then we're going to have a musical guest, and that's to be announced. So that's it basically for. Oh, we also have Michael McNevin. So actually, I think it's not to be announced. It's actually Michael McNevin, who appeared in my birthday video. Thank you, Michael. And thank you, everybody who got involved in that video. And Dolly and JJ for conceiving it and for putting it on. We were very moved and touched, and we appreciate you all. And thank you very much. And also, we'd like to thank all of you who took part and made this show happen. Of course, Jessica, our special guest, Lisa Richards, and Pure and Weary, and also all the people who got involved in any way, who donated, who tuned in, and thank you especially our audience for tuning in. We really appreciate you joining us this evening, and we look forward to seeing you next week. We're going to leave you now, as I said, with our video of the week, and I mentioned it earlier. We played it on yesterday's Second Sunday Songwriter Series. It's Water by our special guest, Lisa Richards. And we've decided it's worth another play, and you're going to love this. It's so stunning. We're going to finish tonight with that. And in the meantime, we look forward to seeing you again next Monday night with another edition of Songs and Sit-Downs. And till then, stay safe and be kind. Thank you so much.
Your gun slung across your back, swaying in the middle of a field. Ragged uniform hanging from your scarecrow frame, staring with eyes of mud and steel. You don't know the lies from what is real. The sun don't shine here in this room. The window looks like hope from where we stand. The days are long, we wait for change. The air is silent and no fire can burn the frozen from our skin. And we need each other like turnstiles need to call. Fish need to swim and water needs to fall. Yeah, water needs to fall. There's a broken heart in every chest. There's always one more reason to regret. Don't hold on, what's done is done. Wars are fought and lost and won. Soldiers dying as your pen moves slowly across the page. And we need each other like turnstiles need to call. Fish need to swim and water needs to fall. Yeah, water needs to fall. Gray sky hides behind your face. I can't see you through this gloom. Daylight ends, the nighttime comes, hiding like thieves with loaded guns. We are the voices of the lost, falling like leaves upon the dust. And we need each other like turnstiles need to call. Fish need to swim and water needs to fall. And we need each other like turnstiles need to call. Fish need to swim and water needs to fall. Yeah, water needs to fall.